So, hello folks. It is Tuesday, November 26th. We're on the Des Plaines River Trail in, technically I guess this is Wheeling, Illinois. As you can see, we had a little bit of snow, not too much, but at least it made the trail frozen as opposed to the mud, which was very difficult to ride through the last time I came out here. Anyhow, this is the first of what will be a series of video blogs or vlogs, first time I ever used that word, for Uncle Dan's, the Great Outdoor Store. And we'll see what we come across here. Temperature isn't too bad. It's low 30s, not much wind, plus being in the forest, that decreases on the wind anyhow. So those are the basics. A little bit about myself. My name's David. Don't know if I said that. And I used to be an avid cyclist. Then because of various medical complications, I had to give it up. This summer, actually November 30th will be exactly 6 months, I had a successful kidney transplant. That was immediately followed by an emergency bowel surgery, and right after that some heart surgery. So I had 3 major surgeries in a relatively short span of time, but in order to recuperate, I really want to start riding again. And like a lot of people getting to be my age, I'm 58, riding an upright bike was becoming very painful in the hands, shoulders, back, etc. So I'm now riding a trike, which is amazingly comfortable and fun to ride. It's an ICE. ICE is the brand that stands for Inspired Cycling Engineering, and the model is a Sprint 26. I'm also very, very colorblind. So given these factors, who better to be shooting videos for a vlog? That's right, you got it. So this is just the beginning of the ride. I think I'm going to turn the camera off for a bit, and then we will be back. Well, it's my body is pretty warm today. Ridden a few miles and warmed up a little. The only part of me that I have trouble keeping warm are my hands, especially the right one. Got good gloves on. They're windproof, waterproof, heavily insulated, yet my hands get cold almost instantly. Gonna have to try some of those chemical warmers that you stick inside of a glove. wearing a bunch of layers. I have a wool undershirt, and leggings. And my legs, I have a pair of thermal tights over it. My torso over the wool undershirt. I've got a long sleeve t-shirt, then a traditional waffle style material shirt covered by a pullover sweatshirt, and on top of that a zip up fleece lined sweatshirt. I'm one of those people who are always cold, so the more layers and the more warmth I can get, the better. I always thought this was a pretty area. These people have this pond and very nice looking homes back there. I don't know if it's a private community or exactly what it is. Of course, they have access to this trail. This trail is Des Plaines River Trail. As the name would imply, runs along the Des Plaines River here in northern Illinois. And where I got on the trail, that runs for about 35 miles all the way up to Kenosha, Wisconsin. And there's only one brief spot about a quarter of a mile long where the trail stops. You have to kind of wind your way out towards a busy road. Fortunately, you don't have to go out on the road because so many cyclists have done the route. They've worn a trail into the grass on the side, so you can take that. Still kind of a pain because I've got to stop, get off the trike, lift it over the curb, the real high curb, can't roll over it, and then get back on the trail. I think over here on the right is part of the Lincolnshire Marriott Resort golf course. No one golfing today. Actually, this is the first time I've been on this trail and at this point haven't seen anybody else on it. Perhaps I'm the only one crazy enough to be riding in weather like this. Although there are other bike tracks in the snow, so there have been a few going through. Very gray sky, as you can see. Oh, there's no forecast for precipitation, so I'm not worried about that. I hate riding in the rain. Although at this temperature, it would probably be snow, which actually might be kind of pretty on the bike. The trail from where I got on it, which is a little bit north of Lake Cook Road and just east of Milwaukee, if you're familiar with the area. You can actually go south for quite a way on the trail too. Problem is, just a little bit south of me, it goes from a crushed limestone path, which is what this is, to a dirt path, which if it gets any moisture is just mud. And I'm a little bit OCD about keeping my bike clean. Technically it's not a bike, it's a trike. I really like to keep my trike clean and maintained, so I try not to ride through. Not sure exactly what this building is. I think it's part of the Lincolnshire Marriott. To me it looks like a place out of a science fiction movie where they clone human beings or something like that. But my guess is that isn't what it is. Although it could be. Coming up here to a very nice bridge they have on this trail. Actually has 2 lanes. Not something you often see on a bridge on a trail like this. We're currently in the half-day forest preserve. Again, this is an area that even during the week is usually pretty crowded. Although I think other than that dog, it's pretty desolate today. It's actually a very pretty area in the summertime. Lots of vegetation, wildflowers and patches along the sides of the trail here. Now it's all gone. We really didn't have much of an autumn here. It went from summer straight into winter, which is not unusual for Chicago. There's a person. Coming up to a bridge here crossing the river with a small bit of a climb. The Des Plaines River. coming up to a bridge here that I've never been able to negotiate on this trike going up. It's just a little too steep, and I lose traction. I guess I don't, because I don't have my weight over the back wheel, just the way this thing is built. Can never get up it. Wheel just turns, so see what happens this time. Behind you. Thank you. Feel the wheel slipping. This is how I usually get up it. There we go. Des Plaines River again. I don't know how many crossings there are along this trail, but there are quite a few, that's for sure. Years ago, gotta be about 15 or more years ago, I was riding this trail, and my son, who was, must have been 7 or 8 at the time, we saw a snake cut right across this trail, going from right to left. And there are no poisonous snakes here in Illinois. And I told that to my son, but it scared the hell out of him. He got really scared, didn't want to go any further. So he turned around and came home. And then he refused to go out riding on this trail with me anymore. Until one day I got the brilliant idea of telling him I was out riding the trail, and I saw the same snake, and he was dead, laying on the trail. And that was all it took. He came back out and rode with me after that, and everything was good. Back then, this area was actually, didn't have all this growth. This is all grown in. I guess it's like, he's 24 now, and I think he was 7 then, 17 years ago. I can smell food cooking somewhere, and it smells really good. We're riding right now parallel to the river, which is just past that line of trees on the right. And in the past, in the early summer, I used to see turtles out here, mom with a few of her babies. It was always pretty cool. Coming up to one of the main streets here, and at that point I'm going to turn around and head back. Don't have to cross the street if you want to continue on that way. There's a nice underpass, quite a few of those on this trail, which is really nice. There's only one main street, main road that you have to cross, and they do have a traffic signal there for that one, so it's not too bad. But it's really nice to avoid the traffic altogether if you can. You could probably hear some of the traffic in the background. This is a canoe launch into the river right there. And then over that bridge is the underpass. But we're going to turn around now and head back. Coming back to that bridge that was so tough coming up, but it's really fun coming back down the other side. A little bit of a climb getting up it this way, but nothing like it is coming from the other direction. Never seems quite fair that the uphills take as long as they do to ascend, and the descent is over in the blink of an eye. Of course, here in the Chicago area, there aren't many real climbs. Really almost none. You have to, if you want to try doing climbs, you have to go out of your way to look for them. This trail here actually connects with a bunch of forest preserves in the area. So there are various offshoots off of this main trail that lead to the various other forests around here.